when we think about like growth, it always happens in stages.
Yeah.
Like we think of like the innovation and then it goes up and down and like process maturity and all that.
Right.
And I want to flash back to what you just mentioned, which is your agency,
Okay.
which has gone through iterations just like mine. Right.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to like way back in the day. We're talking, you started your marketing agency.
Yep.
Can you lead me up to that point? Like, what was that 3, 6, 9, or 12-month journey leading up to where you say, like, I'm going to start a marketing agency?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of times y'all see me wearing a hat usually. And that's because I've got skin cancer. I've had 2 surgeries on my face to remove skin cancer, but I always sport a South Coast hat. And the reason why is my best friends in San Diego, who I was roommates with before they got married, we all kind of lived in this house by the beach. And
it is so San Diego, by the way. That's like the perfect.
Yeah. I mean, when you have roommates, you just do. Okay, when you're young, you're in SoCal. So they gave you my first shot. And in fact, I had worked a corporate job for I think 1 year and 1 day, and walked out of the place like, peace, bro. Like, I'm never doing this again. I worked on a call center floor for a big real estate home servicing company, and I was just miserable sitting there all day when the waves were good, which at the time I just cared about surfing. That was it. When the waves were good, I couldn't take off to go there. And in the winter, like when usually the waves are good, it's too dark to go before or after work. Yep. So I was just like pretty pathetically miserable. Wasn't making a lot of money even. So it was just like not worth it. It's like, I'd rather go back to serving tables or maybe finding a bartending gig.
Right.
Well, then the economy crashed. This is like 2008. And my friends at the surf shop were like, bro, I need your help, man. Like, we can't pay you a lot, but I know you love surfing. I know you would love to work at the surf shop if it was, not on the retail floor. Like, can you run our website for us? Right.
Oh, so your friends, your roommates actually owned and operated a surf shop.
They didn't own it at the time, but they were the management.
Gotcha.
They managed the whole place, basically. They ended up buying it later. Yeah. Like now today they own it, but from the guy who started it. But at the time they were still just like kind of in line to maybe purchase it later, but they ran most of the operations, right? So they were like, can you help us with our e-commerce website? I'm like, dope. What's the budget? They're like, we have no budget. So it forced me to learn SEO, blogging, inbound marketing in the context of trying to sell more stuff, right?
Right.
So then I had to learn all this other stuff, like the warehouse operations, picking, packing, and shipping. Then I had to learn photography because they had no budget for a photographer. So they bought all equipment. They paid a guy half a day to come down and teach it all to me. So I'm sitting there taking photos for the e-commerce website, in the back of the warehouse. And so there's a little, cute surf shop girl or 16-year-old like ripped, surfer guy jumping around.
Yeah.
In and out of things, bikinis and
so you had to build like a light box and like play with like focal length and like color temperatures and all that.
It was literally in the worst, dirtiest warehouse you've ever seen in your entire life, and we made it look like it was like out of a catalog. It was awesome. So point is just had to learn how to do everything in order to make it move forward, which wasn't making any money really at the time, but they gave me a shot and I was pretty good at it. Like, I learned how to be pretty good at it on my own. And it forced me to learn new skills. That was the thing that was the biggest takeaway from that. It wasn't that it was online marketing. It was just like the attitude was, well, you know more about it than we know, Rob. So we're going to pay you to do it. And I was like, this is shocking to me.
So that as a soundbite or as a lesson is substantially and materially different from what we're taught in like an educational program, which is you need to graduate, you need to be certified. And you know what? You're going to take your test. If you get 10% wrong, you're marked down.
Yeah.
They're coming in and saying, I'm here, dude. You could be anywhere bigger. It's better than me.
Dude, like, I love these people, so I'm not criticizing them. But the attitude of most small business owners is, I don't have time to learn a new skill. Like, they've got so much in front of them and have a passion for helping local businesses. That's the thing that we have to understand as service providers to them is that, they've got razor thin margins most of the time. They've got a million other things
Yep.
in front of them. They've got risk, exposure, downside, debt, like all this stuff. No, they don't need to learn. They don't have any desire to learn what the difference in the F setting is on your camera to make it look good on the e-commerce site. They're just like, can you get it done? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right. And that's the way that I sell now.
Mm-hmm.
That I sell outcomes, not features or even benefits even more, but especially not features. Right. So I learned a lot in that process. And, there's details that I'm, like examples and stuff like that. But that was my first exposure to how the insides of a business actually work and how I can provide value to them and what moved the needle and what did not. I was like being thrown in the deep end, right?